Can they get this right? It's to Lingard. Is he going to finish this? Yes, he is. It's 2-0. Jesse Lingard. Lingard again. Good effort. He scored again. Martinez probably should have kept it out. Lingard doesn't matter, and that might be Lingard. He might go all the way. What a goal! What a brilliant goal by Jesse Lingard.
Then check this out.
Yeah, I think we've officially arrived at the most surprising transfer of the window. West Ham, Everton, Tottenham Hotspurs, Roma and Newcastle were all teams that were reportedly interested in signing Jesse Lingard as a free agent. So why in the world would he sign for Nottingham Forest? And before you come at me with the whole, but Forest have won 2 Champions Leagues. That's 2 more than Man City and PSG combined argument. That was in 1979 and 1980. Pac-Man hadn't even been released at that point. West Ham seemed the most keen to sign Lingard after his loan spell there during the second half of the 2020-2021 campaign, which was arguably his best spell of his career. That and the time he kept turning the Emirates into his personal dance floor. Can't forget that. Either way, that move would have made more sense. West Ham are not the only team that have been interested in Lingard in the past 18 months, as a loan move to Newcastle was generally on the table in January, before it collapsed over United's financial demands. A move to Newcastle this summer would allow him to spearhead their potential ascent to the top of English football, and a switch to Rome would have allowed him to reunite with his former manager Jose Mourinho. And I think we can all agree that the Spurs and Everton moves all make sense on some level. Nottingham Forest though, that one took me a little while to wrap my head around. But after much thought, I think I see why the move makes sense. Philip Zinchenko was a key contributor for Forest last season, appearing in the 4th most games for the Tricky Reds. He finished with the 3rd most goal contributions and was a huge source of creativity from the number 10 position. However, he returned to Watford at the end of his loan spell and was almost immediately snapped up by Olympiacos, Forest's sister club. James Garner made the 5th most appearances for the club and had the 4th most goal contributions, including 7 assists, the 2nd most by a Forest player. The Manchester United Academy graduate's future is still up in the air, and he may well be available for another loan, but in the meantime, Forest needed to look for ways to supplement this creative void. Lingard's career expected assist per 90 value is 0.12, which is good, but far from impressive, and his 3.45 shot creating actions per 90 would have him in the top 30 for all players in the league this season. Solid numbers, especially for a team who are desperate for a creative spark. Overall though, he is more naturally conservative in his passing, and usually keeps things controlled and tidy. During his spell at West Ham, he played as a number 10 in a 4-2-3-1. He would often drift out to the left, as this heat map shows. Last season, Steve Cooper played a 3-4-1-2, with Zinchenko playing in the hole behind the 2 strikers. That would be exactly why I expect Lingard to play, drifting out to the left to form a bit of a front 3 at times, with Brennan Johnson, arguably Forest's best player last season, pulling wide to the right. That pace and penetration in the half spaces, along with the width provided by the wingbacks, should provide a decent form of offense for Forest. Under Moyes at West Ham, playing as a number 10, Lingard produced some of his lowest defensive numbers of his career, really getting tight to his man and applying pressure off the ball. His pressure, defensive actions and blocks were all lower than his career average, which is noticeable as West Ham also experienced lower possession than United generally do, so you'd actually expect those numbers to generally be higher. That could be a product of his position and role in Moyes' defensive scheme though, and his reputation as a hard worker and intelligent presser at United should help quell any fears Forest fans may have. This move may be an opportunity for Lingard to be a star man for a team and allow him to rebuild his reputation just in time for the World Cup. But I think it definitely says more about Forest's intentions though. The Reds from Nottingham have spent nearly 82 million euros thus far in the window, including the additions of Omar Richards from Bayern Munich, Moussa Niakate from Mainz, Nico Williams from Liverpool, and Taiwo Awoniyi from Union Berlin. The last promoted team to spend more than Forest have so far was Leeds in 2020, and they finished in 9th. Put simply, they mean business, and are not here to make some extra revenue and collect a parachute payment before dropping back to the championship. Perhaps Lingard shared their vision. It is only a 1-year deal, and if things don't work out, both parties will go their separate ways. It's a risk, but I think it's one both should be happy they've taken.